on the status of staff's work to complete the housing element programs for 2024. Go ahead, Councilmember Hilton.
Thank you. I'd like to propose that we direct staff to provide an update on the status of what staff needs to complete in regards to the housing element programs, collaboration with community development, ADU pre-design plans, and inclusionary housing policy that were to be completed by the end of 2024. Completion of these items needs to be included in our April 2025 Annual Progress Report, APR, to State HCD in order to ensure that we don't lose our current housing element state certification and open ourselves up for more builder's remedy projects, while implementing our goals, policies, and programs that are consistent with the direction of the city's other general plan elements, specifically the land use element, potential hazards element, and environmental justice element. The city must monitor and report on the results of these and other programs through our annual progress report. Government Code grants HCD authority to review any action or failure to act by a local government that is determined to be inconsistent with an adopted housing element or housing element law. This includes failure to implement programs, actions, including the housing element. HCD may revoke housing element compliance if the local government's actions do not comply with state law. I detailed out the programs in the FAIR memo included in tonight's agenda packet. Also, due to the urgency of this FAIR memo, thank you for allowing me to include that one extra page. I know we're supposed to keep them to 2. I'm requesting that this item be brought back by March 2025. Thank you to those who reached out to me in support of this. And with that, I'm happy to answer any clarifying questions.
So now I'll open it up for clarifying questions. These questions are going to be for Councilmember Hilton. So just as a reminder, this is not an agenda item open for discussion. Clarifying questions for Councilmember Hilton, please.
Yeah, I have a question specifically. It seems like something that would be easily asked of staff to get this kind of feedback. I'm new to all this, so forgive me. But it just seems like something any one of us could ask them what the status is on many of these things that were on there. So how is this any different, and why bring it before council?
So I'm trying to create basically an official action. So when I went through this during the housing element process, my office wrote memos. They were public. There were 2 staff about the housing element, each draft that we were doing, right? And in those, I would say, give suggestions on different types of housing law and what's happening in there. And what I found is that staff would often just say, yes, we're on that. Yes, we're going to do that. And I would say, are you aware of the timeline that we have going on? Or yes, we're aware of the timeline. And there never really seemed to be any teeth behind it. Like we should get this done. And what that ended up doing is, we were late. January 31st, 2023 is when the housing element was supposed to be completed, done, and certified. And we ended up being late by several months. And what I found is that, we all thought that the stuff was going to happen on time. But now we're in the game. And now we're looking in the rearview mirror. These 3 items, these programs, have not been completed. If they were completed, then we would see them on our website. I'd be able to choose an ADU pre-plan. So what I am trying to ask
I do believe the ADU plan is out on the website. I looked at it today, and I do believe a couple of these items are taken care of. It just seems to me like it is it's an effort to basically take staff in front of the public when we can't get something handled behind the scenes to ask them questions. Is that what you're alluding to? You couldn't successfully do this before behind the scenes, so now we bring it up here to basically make sure they get it done. I'm really confused.
It's a make sure to get it done, but it's also a heads up to staff and the public that we understand that these programs need to be finished, and they should be finished at the end of the quarter, and we're going to be looking for that in April. Staff is fully aware of these questions that I've had in the back and forth, so this is not by any means like a new to them. I'll put it that way. But what I am concerned about is that we come around to the April timeline and we either get a response of, hey, we are trying to get that done. Yes, we're still trying. But what I want to know today, and I'm hoping that my colleagues would want to know, is that if we can't, we obviously don't want a builder's remedy project in Gilroy. So is there something today that staff needs in order to get these 3 programs finished and completed by April? Is it a staffing thing? Is it a funding thing? Like, let us know today so we can help you. So then April, when we hear the APR and we send that to the state, that we all know that those things got done. Does that make sense?
I have a question.
Yes, I have 2 things. We also have an inclusionary housing program that's on our site. Is more work being done on it? Because when it's on the site, I'm assuming that it is completed. So see, I'm a little confused over this. Jimmy, was staff going to come back and say what they've been working on, or are these completed programs?
Well, I think that we are required by HCD to make an annual report of our progress on all these programs. I believe there are 65 programs that the state's requiring us to do during this housing element period, and we are required to come back to council and report.
So when were they going to come back to report?
March of 2025.
Okay, so then that's already scheduled, correct?
That is correct.
And then, Councilmember Hilton, I want you to clarify something, because you said staff was late in getting the document turned in. But as I understood it, they turned it in October of 2023. It got sent back to us at the end of January 2024, and the accepted document had to be done by the 31st. I'm off by 1 year? Okay.
It was October 2022 and January 2023.
Oh, all right. Okay, you're right. Okay, but it had to be, approved by January 31st of 2023, correct? Well, I don't feel our staff was late in getting it turned in. When they only had 3 days to go back and make all the corrections, that wasn't on them. That was on HCD for not reading it quicker when it was turned in October 2022. So I really don't like staff being blamed in saying that they were late in getting anything done when they weren't.
No one's blaming anybody.
Well, the way you said it, you just told the public that they did not turn it in on time.
Everybody,
That
we're getting a little off topic, but to clarify you that, everybody knows that it was due on that day, and we did not have it completed on that day, period.
Okay, but I still stand by it wasn't their fault when they got it turned back to them end of January, a few days before the 31st.
Okay.
It's not
But
on them.
Back to what Councilmember Fugazi was trying to ask is why are you even asking this? In my past experience, when I didn't do this and I didn't publicly say it and nobody got around it, we were late and we were subject to the builder's remedy. So if everybody feels fine and everybody thinks that we're fine and this would not pertain to anything, like we're all good, all these things have been done and they're going to tell us that they're done in April and staff doesn't need anything, then I'm fine. I'll withdraw it if you think that. But my experience from going through this process before is that if we didn't speak up early, we were late to the game, and we were subject, and we have 2 builders remedy projects in the city, and I don't want to see that happen again, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't either.
So then, when would you want this on the agenda?
I already said that, but
In
I
March,
think he wants
you
to say
said.
something.
But then Jimmy said March they were going to report anyway in March. So I'm a little confused.
Hold on. So can I go to Kelly?
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically my question is the same thing. My understanding is that it was submitted in October. Like, when would you have wanted that to have been submitted? If the due date, if the approval date by the state.
I'm not gonna answer that. That has nothing to do with this. We can talk about that.
Well, it does in
Yeah.
I'm not interpreting.
Did you have a further
Just
comment? or
again,
question? Clarifying question?
Yeah, if it's not going to come back till March and they're going to report back to us in March anyway, what is the difference?
That's what I'm trying to get to, yes.
It's the same time frame, right?
Well, it's by March, right? But if staff needs something today in order to complete those 3 programs that should have been completed December 31st, 2024, if they need something now, this gives them.
Well, then you're saying that they're derelict in not asking us for those things ahead of time, or they would do that anyway.
That's what I thought 2 years ago too, man. We're giving them we're giving them the opportunity. If everything is fine and you guys don't agree with this, I'll pull it, and we'll see what happens in April.
Are there other comments or qualifying comments for Councilmember Hilton? Any others? So now, any others at this point? So I'll go to public comment.
We do have one speaker.
Okay.
Ron Kirkish, you'll have 3 minutes.
I don't think I'm going to need 3 minutes. Hello again, Mayor, Council. In my conversations with others, they have informed me that this is really something that's not necessary, that it's actually going to be a burden on staff, from what I understand. And it's an unnecessary burden. So, in my opinion, I don't think this should be something that you should consider. Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, I will now close public comment. So we have a chance for last comments or questions about this, and let's get an indication if we want to have some action. Thumbs up? Yeah, thumbs up. Sorry, they're doing, yeah, thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna pass on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, any other comments on it? Okay, thank you very much for bringing that.
So the vote was
I'm sorry.
the thumbs up was thumbs down not to bring this back?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure the
sorry.
record's clear.
Yeah.